4 innings, 0 runs, 0 hits. Max Scherzer just walked back into the building and immediately reminded everyone why the Blue Jays brought him back. And honestly, I don't think people are talking about this enough. Let's be real for a second. When Toronto re-signed Scherzer this offseason on a 1-year, $3 million deal, there were 2 camps. One side thought it was a smart, low-risk flyer on a veteran arm who knows exactly what he's doing. The other side looked at that 5.19 ERA from last year and said the Blue Jays are just running it back with a guy who's clearly on the decline. And I get both arguments, I genuinely do. But after what we saw Saturday against Philadelphia, I'm thinking those people in the second camp need to pump the brakes a little bit. 4 scoreless innings against the Phillies in his spring debut. No runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and he got out of there clean. Now I know what some of you are going to say. It's spring training. The lineups are half filled with guys who aren't going to be on a roster in April. The pitchers aren't fully locked in yet. All of that is true. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you this outing means Max Scherzer is about to win a 4th Cy Young. That's not the conversation. The conversation is about what this means for the Blue Jays rotation and what it tells us about where Scherzer actually is physically heading into this season. Because here's the thing that actually matters. His fastball averaged 94 miles per hour on Saturday and touched 95.8. He's 41 years old, 41, and he's sitting 94 and touching nearly 96 in his first spring outing. That is not nothing. That is genuinely impressive for a pitcher of his age at this point in camp. Velocity in spring training doesn't always translate one-to-one to what you see in April and beyond. But when a guy comes out in his first live outing and shows that kind of arm strength, you take notice. That's not the profile of a pitcher who's cooked. That's a guy who put in the work this offseason and showed up ready. The strikeout he got was on an 85.6 mile per hour changeup to Brandon Marsh on a full count. 2-2, right? 2 strikes, 2 balls, and he throws the change. That's the Max Scherzer you're paying for. Not just the velocity, not just the pure stuff, but the pitching intelligence. Getting a major league outfielder on a changeup when he's sitting on the fastball in a full count situation, that's craft. That's a guy who understands how to pitch, not just how to throw. And for a Blue Jays rotation that has some real upside but also some real question marks, having that kind of veteran presence in the mix matters in ways that don't always show up in the box score. Let's zoom out a little bit here though, because I think the 5.19 ERA conversation deserves more nuance than it usually gets. Yes, that number is not good. I'm not going to pretend it is. But look at the context. He made 17 appearances for Toronto last year, and then he made 3 starts in the postseason as part of the Blue Jays' run to the World Series. This team went to the World Series, and Scherzer was part of that. He was on that mound in October when it counted. A guy with a 5.19 ERA in the regular season doesn't necessarily mean that guy falls apart when the stakes go up. He's done it before. He's been in big spots in his career more times than most pitchers ever get the chance to be, and he came through for this organization when the lights were brightest. That matters. That has to factor into how you evaluate this signing. $3 million for a veteran starter with 3 Cy Young awards who went to the World Series with your club last year and wants to come back? That's not a red flag. That's actually a pretty reasonable deal when you think about what you're getting on multiple levels. You're getting innings, you're getting experience, and you're getting a guy who clearly still has something left in the tank based on what we just saw. The Blue Jays rotation picture is going to be one of the more interesting stories to follow all spring, and Scherzer just put himself right in the middle of that conversation with a very strong debut. Now the question is whether he can sustain this. One spring outing is one spring outing. But the velocity is there. The command looked sharp. The changeup is still a weapon. Everything you want to see from him in a first look was present on Saturday. If he goes out in his next few starts and shows the same stuff, the narrative around this signing is going to shift pretty quickly from questionable move to low-key one of the better veteran pickups of the offseason. And I think that's exactly where it's headed. 41 years old, 3 Cy Youngs, a World Series run, and now 4 clean innings to open spring. Max Scherzer is not done, and the Blue Jays are counting on that.